Hi, Ratbags. Welcome back to my incredible show where I sit down with some of my favorite people and we just talk about interesting stuff, geopolitical issues that are really confronting us at the moment.
Guys, we got our first ever guest and she's bloody brilliant. It's Lazy Susan.
Oh, we're the luckiest rats in the world, guys. This episode is fire. It's so much fun. We do a Speedy Susan segment where we rapid fire. We talk shit for so long. Too long,
Sorry
one could
about
say. And we end on a Hit It Toots as per. It's fucking Lazy Susan. This is an amazing episode. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
How do we begin?
The most exciting episode of our podcast yet.
It's giving guest alert.
Guest alert! First guest alert! Shut the fuck up while we introduce you dumb bitch.
Please welcome to this beautiful erect couch, the incomparable, lazy fucking Susan.
It's giving guest alert?
It's giving first
NEE NAW.
guest alert.
I can't believe I'm the
first ever
first
guest.
on this couch.
You really are.
Why does it have this smell there?
How does it feel?
Whose couch is this normally?
Hey, probably Donna's. Let's
Oh my
just say
God.
that. Welcome to Ratbag.
Oh my God, this is so exciting.
We are so thrilled to have you.
I'm very upset though because I heard that Tom, your regular desk
Daddy.
cup,
Yeah.
is not here because he had a baby.
He had a
Yeah,
baba.
he
Is
had
that
a baby.
like sensitive information?
No,
We
it's
like-
not.
No.
Do you want to guess the
What's
name?
the child's
Yeah,
name, weight, and height?
Have a guess of it's
Yeah,
a
have a
girl.
guess.
It is Cloaca.
Hey, it's Acadia.
It's actually,
Arcadia.
you could have been
You got the
further
curve
Oh my
away.
right.
God.
So
Wow.
Tom has had a beautiful girl, so he is off, but we have the beautiful Lucy who works on Ratbag. She'll be on mic. Say hi, Luce.
Hi, Luz.
Who put these fucked wilted flowers between us and Lazy Susan?
Luz was like, I curse you with these disgusting flowers. It looks like a Taylor Swift cover. Like,
Literally.
why is
You're
it
like-
giving like, that was the day you met.
So when Luce came in this
flowers.
morning, we were telling Lazy
Yeah.
this before. Luce came in this morning and was like, oh, guys, I'm really sorry. I'm happy to go to the florist and get some new ones, but the flowers that we have, they have wilted a little bit. And I had this moment of being like, have we been cunts on this podcast that to make her think that we would be like,
Take it away.
these flowers are
Yeah.
fucked, get rid of them.
Well, Luz, do you know who the fuck wouldn't do this? Tom. So I don't know what gravesite you took these from.
So good. Now, for anyone listening that hasn't had the pleasure and that are living under a fucking rock, anyone listening to Ratbag that
Literally.
hasn't seen the most recent season of Drag Race, you kind of went maybe to the top of that show. Maybe you might have won it.
Kind of maybe owned the whole thing. Maybe said.
Did you or did you not win the most recent season?
I did. I don't know when this comes out, but yeah. I did win that television program.
It comes out retroactively.
It comes out 5 years from now. And there's like been 5 other winners and they've cancelled the show. But
They're like, who is this lemony
Yeah.
fuck? I don't
Truly,
care.
get rid of her.
Give our listeners that live under a rock a really quick crash course as to who you are, what you do. Go.
Yes.
Okay, I am a 58-year-old woman. I used to
Beautiful.
work in like bus logistics, which you think is not a huge industry, but I made a lot of money that way. And then
What's really fun about this is we're not going to know because you're so funny what's true and what's not.
And I'm
like, that's a really funny
That's-
joke.
Mel
Or
and
it's
I-
real.
let me live my life. Let me
We'll
talk.
tape our mouths shut, and I reckon we'll just let you
Yeah.
go.
But can
Tell
I
us.
ask you though, like
Sure.
your demographic? 'Cause,
Yes.
like I have a podcast, and the demographics it skews unfortunately gay male in their 30s.
Interesting.
I don't know how it's happening. As
Yeah,
I
I'm
am
saying
a
they're
beautiful
40s.
and 40s. I mean, the bear community loves us.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
assume that your demo skews a bit like femme NB, like
Gay.
queer.
I would say that's pretty spot on.
That is a lot of people that might not be watching Drag Race. Like,
Yeah,
unless
that
they're
is fair.
bisexuals. The bisexuals are watching.
That is fair.
But the lesbians are
Yeah.
not watching Drag Race.
That's actually
I
really
would
true.
agree with that
Yeah.
take. So tell people about you and what you do
Okay.
and your recent
I am
year.
a cross dresser,
Yep.
and I like sell my body to the television. And I was on a reality television program, which is a spin-off version of like a satirical take on America's Next Top Model, but presented by famous drag queen RuPaul. But in Australia and New Zealand, RuPaul abandoned us and left his like grand vizier, Miss Michelle Visage.
Here's Madame Marble, if you will.
Exactly.
For those playing at home.
She was. Like, you're his grand vizier. I want that auto-tune, by the way. So yeah, I went on that television program. It had 8 episodes. And then I won and I won 50,000 Australian dollars and a
forgot
flat
about that
screen
part.
television and an additional $2,500 worth of glitter.
I remember this. Now, question:
remember
have
this.
you spent $1 of that 50K yet?
Oh yes.
On what? What was your first purchase with this 50K?
Yeah, good question.
This
I
fake
bought-
bag?
I bought
this fucked Louis Vuitton.
these beautiful flowers. I was in Castlemaine, which your lesbian audience will know what that is. Because they've just moved there. And the houses here, they're so cheap. But so I was there and there was a bookshop. And
Yep.
I am featured in Art Simone's new book, Queens of Downunder.
That's so
Spoofing
sick.
for her, despite the fact I'm not getting a cut. I go in and I do the most embarrassing but like iconic thing where I walk in and I'm looking for the book and then I find it like at the back and I pick it up and the bookshop ownstress, 'cause she's
The
a woman who's
ownstress.
she comes out here and she's like, what are you doing? What are you doing in here? And then I was like, I'm in this book. I'm in it. And then I
and because she's a
opened it
lesbian
up.
who lives in Castlemaine, she was like, I don't give a fuck.
She's like, I really could not care if you live or die, just don't touch. And then right next to that, after, because I'd like embarrassed myself, and she made me take a photo for the Instagram in the bad bookshop lighting.
Right.
Because she hasn't understood why people go into bookshops. So they're like soft ambient lighting.
Sure.
That you're going to pop in Visco later.
Yeah,
a little grain effect.
And so then I had to buy something to justify the egomania of this. And I couldn't buy the book because I already had 2 copies because I'm a psycho. And so I bought this David LaChapelle book, but I didn't realize until I put it down that it was $100.
Right.
So I spent $100 on a book.
Holy shit.
That you
You're like
didn't-
50
Which is
grand.
more than America
No
has spent on the
worries.
book. Yeah.
50 grand. That is such a
Rich.
fat stack of cash.
Meanwhile, we're on your set for your podcast, which is like
Hey,
rich. You got swirly whirly candles that have never been lit from typo. That's rich.
Swirly dilly
now
candles.
we're going to try and get our notes app out and ask you some questions, but all I want to do is riff raff and listen
I
to
know.
you and laugh.
It's
Do you
the way
ever-
I wrote little questions, like a little going.
Give us
going,
a question.
And how did you get into drag?
No.
But now that we're here, I'm like,
Yeah.
so who was the last person you fucked?
Who was it? It was my boyfriend.
Oh my god, you're loved up.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Who is
Like
your boyfriend?
Sam.
Tell us about your boyfriend.
His name is Kurjan.
Brilliant
and
name.
He's a good person.
Gorgeous.
Which is unfortunate because I'm a bad person, but it's kind of
Yep.
not unlike Wicked. You know, how the goat is the bad person and then
Sure.
the Elphabet's the
Yep.
good person they're trying to fuck.
yeah, they absolutely do.
Exactly.
Part 2 alert.
But yeah, anyway, so we've been together for 2 years and he's kind of gone through the whole drag journey.
I was going to say, does he do drag?
Yeah.
No. He is much more. He is like your listeners. He has, he's got his Matilda's jersey on.
He's lesbian
and
from
he
Castlemaine.
used to live in Darwin, and he grew up in Castlemaine. That's the most lesbian trajectory, and
That's
worked
beautiful.
for a not-for-profit.
There you go.
That is the like hallmarks of queer
Yeah.
Sapphicism.
You hit them all.
Exactly.
You
That's
said
my
tick,
dream.
tick, tick.
Go.
Yeah.
How did you meet?
We met on Grindr.
Beautiful.
And then we went to the Coburg Drive-In and watched The Way of Water. Asked me if I've ever seen The Way of Water. I never have.
I know you've never seen Wicked from the plot you just gave from Wicked.
Oh my God, I did the Wicked sing-along at Acme.
How
Me and
was?
Zelda hosted it.
Oh, Yes.
And
that's
got
epic.
paid a mint.
Right.
And then we got there and they're like, so what performances are you doing? And I'm like,
Oh,
Pardon?
the
I'm watching
expectation.
Wicked.
The expectation. That was actually literally going to be one of my questions. What is one of the most bizarre or most interesting drag gigs that you've done? Because we've all rolled up to the randomest gigs and we've gone,
That's a
what
great
do you
question.
mean that you're paying me $1 and I'm meant to do this? What's the oddest gig you've ever done?
so...
Pre
this-
or post Drag Race?
Yeah, like post-Drag Race, I'm still waiting to like get to my like, I just love meeting famous people.
Just doing the Logies and stuff.
I wanted like the Logies. Like I really do want to go to the Logies.
Will you get to go to the Logies cause Drag Race Down
If
Under?
it gets nominated,
Sure.
we might get tickets. And I don't want to say too much, but apparently everyone goes to like the food court outside because it's like in a casino normally.
Yeah.
And everyone's high out of their mind on coke.
Absolutely.
And eating like Chinese food in the gutter. And that is my dream. If I could just do that
You
with
and
Natalie
Carl
Bathingthwaite.
Stefanovic sharing a butter
I
chicken.
love that you went straight for Carl because obviously it's Carl. Like no one has ever been more coke gutter energy than Carl.
Legit.
Who, like, they say that like encouraging this behavior. That's incredible. But
Yeah,
yeah.
what's the
Opposite
oddest-
of derogatory.
Yeah.
What's the oddest gig you've ever done?
So this is like the famous one that I always talk about, but like once I got given a gig by the incredible Dee Flowers, who's a very nice Christian woman who does Beyonce medleys. And she was like, Lazy, I can't do this gig. Do you want to take it? And I'm like, money. Yes. And she's like, but it's just a little bit like in the middle of nowhere.
Sure.
So I drive my mom's like Suzuki Swift out into this like industrial estate. And like I just keep going and like signs of human life start to disappear as I'm like in the middle of nothingness. And there's one light on in this like giant corrugated iron building that has a motorcycle up on a pole. And I'm like, is that where I'm going?
I have questions about the motorcycle on the pole.
I go in. I'm dressed like Ronald McDonald's whore daughter. Like I've got big yellow hair and there's these like 10-foot tall bikies out the front.
Yep.
I don't know if they like being called bikies. Do they? I assume.
I feel like we
so.
still say
we
bikies.
say bikie. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I walk past and they look terrified.
Yeah.
And then I go in and it turns
I love
out.
they're terrified of you.
Yeah, I know. And I was like, hey, boys.
Were you in drag
I
by
was
this
in
point?
full
Arriving in
drag.
drag? Yeah.
Trembling in their little bikey boots.
Truly, in their leathers.
Like, we've never seen a fake Louis Vuitton bag before.
It's called money. Anyway, so I go in and it's the bikie boss, the head of the club. It's his daughter's 21st birthday. She loves drag queens. Her friend
that's
Ashley or whatever, she loves drag queens. No one else there loves drag queens.
no.
Except for this one, speaking of coked out, incredible coked out woman in her 40s who's like, get over here, darling, I love you. Because like everyone... It was like everyone's in full leathers. All the young generation of like bikie sons are all metalheads, and all the older generations like, you know, like full leathers, everything. There's like the
That's
leathers
incredible.
of departed bikie members on the wall. And then the dad comes over to me and he's like, so glad to have you here. He's got like a white slick back ponytail. And he's like, so glad to have you here. You're the very first T word we've ever had in this place.
No.
And I'm like, that you know of. And he's like, and I'm like, let's go, girls. And then they have like an open fireplace in the corrugated iron room. My hair is gonna melt. And like there's like a dirt concrete floor. And everyone's watching me. They're like, what the fuck is happening here? But because it's for like the bikie club owner's daughter's birthday, it's like then like I'm there on their I've been invited.
Yeah,
you know,
totally.
You're on their
and that's
turf.
You're a
thing,
guest.
The thing about bikies is they are the best people in the world if you're not fucking with them and they've invited you. Like they have a lot of respect for like the, you know, just other
They're
people
paying you,
generally. Yeah. So I get there and then like he's like, can you introduce my son? He does like death metal. And I'm like, yeah. And so I go over
introduce my son?
because he's going to do like a performance for the sister. And I'm like, incredible. And I'll do mine after that. And so I'm like, hi, everyone. How are we doing tonight? Can I get a word? And they're like, And I'm like, I'm here to introduce our new incredible performance by whatever, Stacey's brother. And they're going to be performing the song Hacksaw Abortion. Swear to God.
No.
And I'm like, this could have been so embarrassing because I was almost going to perform Hacksaw Abortion, but they beat me to it. Anyway, let's go. And then
What are the lyrics of Hacksaw Abortion? Give me some lyrics.
It's like, but you know, like, I'm pro-choice. That's fantastic. It's got a pro-choice message.
You're like, I'm glad we're all aligned.
Yeah, like abortion.
In this bikie version.
And then I get up and do my like.
What did you do?
My Beyonce Love on Top.
Gorgeous.
But my version of Love on Top has the key changes going up and up and up and up until it's like almost inaudible.
That's funny.
And it's like,
Love that.
yeah, it's
Comedy
a bit.
bit.
We're doing
Yep,
a bit.
very good.
But
Yeah, she kind of does
she
comedy.
does a joke. And so I was like performing this and it was like going, because it's also like a duration piece. So it goes for 8 minutes. And I like get worn out and start crawling down through the floor and grabbing people's ankles traditionally in the performance of this act. And so I'm like crawling on this dirt concrete floor being like, maybe I need. And it just keeps going. And like everyone was like both literally and figuratively looking down on me. This like cross-dresser splayed on the floor with synthetic hair in like a cut, because I'd cut a jumper into like a skirt. So it was a crop top and then the bottom half had been turned around into a skirt. It was like, they had every right to kill me.
That is.
But you made it out.
And then
Tell
Speedy
me.
goes to pay me. And it was like a $300 fee.
Yep.
And then the coked out lady, who was incredible, once again, brackets, encouraged this behavior.
Yeah.
And then she was like, Speedy! And he was like, what? Don't be a fucking cunt. And then he looks at her like he's gonna, like, we'll never see her again. Unmarked grave, like, goodbye. Pay this bitch extra. She entertained your daughter all night.
Oh, good on her.
And
good
the
on
look,
her.
like the moment held, everything in the room
Yep.
froze.
Yep.
Speedy's like slicked back pony.
Fund the
snap.
arts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And then he
Support
pulls
local.
out a fresh, crisp roll of like $50 bills and
No.
peels off another $300 and gives
Brilliant.
it to me. That's called
so overall, that was
life.
a positive experience. Would you say?
The best.
The best.
The best.
That
There
is
you go.
so hot.
That was so campus tits.
Oh my God.
yeah.
Oh
we
my
have
God.
so many more questions, but we have to move on to the next thing.
Oh,
Unless
is
you
it
wanna
time
ask-
already to move on?
Just a quick ad break.
Ad
Oh,
break. All
quick
right.
ad break. Lazy Susan, would you like to take us to the ad break?
Yeah, please.
Let's
In
go
whatever.
find out what our good sponsors of this incredible podcast have to say to you.
Well, hey, we're back from that ad break. We've got a million more questions to ask this
Literally.
star. Mel,
There's no way we're going to get through everything we want to
No.
get through because you're also the most fascinating person to us. I have
you're a
seven
good question answerer as well.
7
In that I
million-
just don't shut up. I'm going to give one word answers from this one.
Yeah, no,
on.
Bev.
No, we got
Oh,
something for
don't
that
you
later.
worry. We got a segment later called Speedy Susan.
Oh my God, Speedy Susan.
We're fucking prepared.
Who told you about my addiction?
It's all online. No.
Lazy, I have a question for you about so because you auditioned for Drag Race 6 times, is this correct?
Correct.
Yep.
Okay, I have a question for you. What do you think it took on that last tape for them to go, let's give this bitch a go?
I don't think it was the tape. The tape,
No?
to be honest, was mid compared to some of the other
Really?
incredible
Interesting.
pieces.
Do you recycle any of the tape stuff? Or
I
no?
have like used some of the looks, but all
Sure.
the prompts are different.
Sure,
Yeah.
And so in this one, they were like, you have to do your favorite RuPaul song. And so I did Hey Sis, It's Christmas, which if you
True.
don't know, it goes, Hey Sis, it's Christmas. Won't you cross me off for your wish list? It's incredible. It's probably the most important song. But cut to me like filming that on like 15 minutes in my hallway, just being, I need to get this. Didn't know the lyrics. Was just like, didn't have
Yeah.
any Christmas related paraphernalia. It was not good. But I think it was the casting producer change, like the head of story change.
Yeah.
So I think for this one, they had a new head story producer.
Yep.
This is a fact.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And I think he had always liked my bullshit.
Interesting.
And
Yep.
then I think he was like, get this bitch, bring
Yeah.
her to me.
It's like,
There
it's
you
time.
go.
But my profile was rising.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was like,
Was it rising because of something specific?
I was going to ask, did you have a viral
I
moment?
had a few
or-
viral moments.
What were they?
Well, one was chlamydia. The other one was gonorrhea. It stuck around for a while. The doxycycline worked, but it didn't quite. No. That is like, what a hack. This is like the hackiest shit.
No, it's so good.
I actually wouldn't have it any other way.
No, I just had like a video that I did, which was like I played Werner Herzog in Kath and Kim for my last audition tape.
I'm familiar. No, we're familiar.
Where I did
We've
Cafe
seen it.
Night straight down the line, and then
Yep.
I was like, I need to give them another option because they'll be seeing 1,000 of these tapes.
Yep.
And so I did like Werner Herzog playing Kim because I'm obsessed with Werner Herzog, and
Yep.
like I think every gay guy is already doing Kim, so it's fine.
I didn't know who Werner Herzog was till you, if I'm being brutally honest.
Brave and important.
So
Doing
thanks
the
for
work.
introducing.
Yeah, so you know, I had to like that was I think the thing. And then Art Simone had always like she's obviously
Yep.
Australia's like one of Australia's most famous
Yep.
drag queens,
Yeah.
and like we worked together very closely.
Yeah.
And she was just like, why has she not been cast on Twitter? And so she kind of shot the shot
There
and
you
called
go.
it.
That's power. That's so cool as well.
She was like, get this. I don't know whether it had an effect, but like,
No,
it got
talent
people
knows
like
talent.
talking in the Reddit
Yeah,
and things.
yeah.
So I don't know what the reason is, but I'm glad that it happened because now I have a book about David LaChapelle that cost me $100.
I want to know, how old were you when you first got into drag? I want to know your
did-
entrance into drag and how that happened for you.
I did like not ever think that I was gonna like do it. Because
Sure.
I think there was like obviously even when I was growing up, it was not like there was still quite a like, do you want to fuck men?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah,
Or
yeah,
do you
yeah.
want to be a drag queen?
Yep.
Like there was like two things were like, and I was like
Interesting.
already having a hard enough time like getting laid, so like I couldn't add another layer of weirdness. Like
yeah.
thank you.
Sure.
But then for like theater studies. In year 12,
Yes.
I did.
Represent.
They had the option of like you can do George or Martha from Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, and I was like, I'm gonna be Elizabeth Taylor. and I'm gonna be Martha. And
Oh
so
my
I did the whole
God.
monologue as Martha, because like if gay men like anything, it's like wearing a nightie and like clinking a fake glass of scotch filled with ice cubes. Like that is
Now,
all I care
If
about.
I had a penny for every time I've held a drink in a self-tape and I've gone, I'm different.
I must,
Here's to the lady.
I must know, did the panel at Moorabbin Arts Centre fucking love it? The VCA
Well, let me
panel?
tell you, because I did get the invite to audition for Top Acts.
We're
Okay,
familiar.
no, literally brag.
So that's your royalty. It's not Drag Race. We've got some.
I didn't get it.
That's
I didn't-
all we're talking
They
about.
weren't ready for this heat.
Top Acts is like the creme de la creme of VCE, like top students across
Back in
year
the day.
12 in Australia.
Wow.
They come together, they perform their monologues, their
At Hamer Hall.
their flute concertos.
Yes. And I did it, and I was like, you're all flops. I'm the Earth Mother, and you're all flops.
It's
and
the way that they would.
the scotch.
No one would have been ready for that in like what 2013
My
or
dad
something, I
is.
assume.
Thank you. That's really kind. Wait, 2015. My dad's teaching friend, because my dad's a teacher.
Yep.
His teaching friend from Monbulk High was one of the judges, and he saw me come. Like his friend's flouncy son come into audition with a fake glass of scotch. I'm like,
everything to me.
like mid-afternoon. No one needs to see that. Like,
That is so good. So how old were you when you first got, so it would have been
So that would have been like
18, 17, 18?
And then
you're
from
like, you got
there,
held back, right? 19.
yeah. You were 25 in VCE.
yeah.
and then from there, were you like?
And then
this
I
is
was like,
kind of
no,
camp?
that's finito. And then later on, when season 7 of Drag Race was coming out,
Yeah. The creme de la
I was a
creme
bit of a
kind of
late.
season.
Like I
Yeah.
got on season 6, and then when season 7 rolled around,
Yep.
Are you okay? You're knocking over
Actually,
your
I'm
microphone.
trying to not draw attention. But
I think
my
Mel
microphone
didn't get
keeps
to audition
falling.
for Top Act, so she's trying to upstage.
Oh, you didn't get it?
Yeah.
I didn't get it.
Oh my
Nah,
god.
neither.
I actually did bad in music.
There
in
you
my
go.
VCA, and I was like, figure
I
it
did
out.
bad in theatre. Yeah.
Did you do like a xylophone cover of Womanizer by Britney Spears?
I did classical voice like a loser.
Oh my god.
And I did contemporary voice, and you best believe as soon as I did Yesterday by the Beatles, I brought a stool out, sat on it, and went, Yesterday. The variation
light
of it
tap.
all.
Well, that's because Across the Universe is such a like, not to harp on like
No, please.
lesbianism, but that is like a lesbian
That's why we're
awakening
here. I
wish you
film.
would.
Like that, like, have you seen that film?
Wait, which one?
Across the Universe.
Yes.
Where she's like,
Oh, I'm familiar.
Tell you something. And the cheerleaders are doing the flips, and she's like pining after the girl. Anyway.
I need
sorry.
to watch that.
Anyway.
I'm assuming it passes the Bechdel test. I need to
Oh,
watch that.
Yeah.
Anyway, directed by Julie Taymor, who did the Lion King.
There you go.
Apparently she's a cunt. Anyway.
Gotcha. No, that's good.
That's
okay.
the title.
Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark, Across the Universe. What is this woman doing to the culture?
There you go. Okay, so you got into drag around 17, 18. Is there something significant with yellow? A lot of your looks.
Yes.
Tell me about it. Do
No,
you
it was
have-
because I stole this purse from Savers, but I also stole a wig.
Yep.
And it was my first wig, like proper wig. And it was this yellow like party wig that I like stuffed inside something else I was buying. So I did buy something from Savers that day.
Yeah, I love that.
But then I was like, I need like something that like is just what they call in marketing like the red thread.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like what goes through the whole branding. And
Yep.
I was like, yellow is not even my favorite color, but I'm like,
Yeah.
if I just pick a color that I can always commit to, then it's like you would be like, there she is.
Yeah,
Oh, it's the yellow one.
Oh, it's the yellow bit.
Yeah.
And then when I got
Yeah.
with my drag sisters, the Beastie Girls, we like went, I'm the yellow one, she's the pink one, and this is the blue one.
Yeah,
And
cute.
so we were like color coded.
It's giving like Powerpuff,
Yeah.
like
Sure,
a
sure,
like
sure.
girl group
so
where
that
they've got a color.
fully ingrained it for all of time.
I mean, hey, it works because for the years that I like knew of you, like before, like obviously like meeting you or like
Yeah.
the Drag Race or any of it, I was like Lazy Susan, yellow.
Yellow.
Totally.
Like
it's like
always.
a pairing.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. That's
And you
right.
also were, I would say, one of the drag queens who I've like seen out and about most.
That's really impressive
Like,
given
yeah.
how much I have like given
See you
up
and
my-
Max a lot. Max the
Max-
drag queen out.
oh, Max drag queen,
Max
please.
drag queen. Sorry.
Not- where'd that
Who am I?
come
See, sorry, everyone.
You can kill yourself.
I'm so sorry for what Sam's done.
Before I introduced you as lazy motherfucking Susan, so I'm just getting your name completely wrong.
Do you know what? No, but yeah, Max is like everywhere,
Yeah.
obviously. And I just like walk around quite a bit. But
I feel like Matt, because were you a big circuit BB?
I was not, I mean, like, because I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I was doing in my 20s. Oh, I was going to art openings because there was free wine and beer.
As you should.
Whereas at Circuit, they make you pay.
Yeah.
So like VCA like had a lot of like openings.
And because, so what did you study at VCA?
Film and television.
Film and television.
There you go.
Right.
And is that why? Because I feel like on your Instagram, like you have such a like, obviously all of your drag is so creative, innovative, boring, heard it all before.
No, it is,
Literally,
though.
it's the way I had these questions being like, and where did your creativity? I'm like, I'm sure you've been asked that 6 billion times. But obviously on your, Instagram, you have like a big like film, TV kind of lens on stuff as well. That makes sense to me.
Thank
Yeah.
you. I mean, that's an observation. That's true.
Can I ask you
Yeah.
a question? I know we need to wrap up, don't we? All right. I've got literally one more question for you.
Okay.
So your name is obviously funny. Lazy Susan is a really funny name. You named yourself probably, when did you come up with the name Lazy Susan? When did you go, that's my drag name?
I was working in hospitality and
Yep.
me and my drag sister at the time, but we weren't drag queens yet.
Yeah.
We're like, what's your drag name? What would it be? Because, you know,
Yep.
every person does
Literally.
that.
Yep.
And so she was Bae Marie. She still works. And I was Lazy Susan.
It's
and I
so
still
good.
work. Yeah.
Do you think that there's now too many funny names in drag? Because I feel like
Australia
there's
is
now
rife for them, but
Australia is
Yeah.
rife. Is it more common here in Australia?
Oh,
than,
yeah.
Because I noticed on the Drag Race Down Under seasons there are more puns in names. There is definitely some puns and funny names like in the States and on Canada's Drag Race and stuff. But do you reckon it's become a bit of a trend now to have a funny drag name or no?
well, there's generations. So
Sure.
like pun names were very like 80s, 90s.
Interesting.
And then like it kind of died a little bit as like,
Okay.
because pageant names are big in the States because they come
Yep.
from like these broader families. That's where you get like your, like the, oh my God, Angeria Paris Van Michaels, like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
thing.
Longer names,
Like
yep.
the longer names that sound like Dallas, like
Yep.
dynasty names.
Yeah.
But then like they fell out of vogue in Australia for a little bit because a lot of like Gen Z kids started being like, my name's Sponge. Just Sponge.
I'm blanket.
Yeah. Like, and so like there was like cool, like, you know, like Gloss, you know, she's a Melbourne drag queen. It's
Yep,
like
yep, yep.
just
So
short,
interesting.
cunty to the point. Whereas
Yeah.
like pun, silly names are like, I don't know, they're kind of coming back a little bit.
Yeah, it's so
Like-
cool seeing that new generation of like younger Gen Z Instagram makeup-y drag queens like roll onto the screen and then seeing, and love them though, but like the Darian Lakes of the world being like, see you later divas.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
Oh, well, okay.
Okay, Lucy's trying to shut us up.
We have
Yeah.
so many more questions, but we might have to push them into our hotline.
Let's never ask these questions. You don't need to know the answer.
I know. We just love you and you're so funny. We just want to let you speak. But we did open up our hotline to our Ratbag listeners. And I cannot explain how much our question box broke the internet. We had so many.
Truly.
So I have had to just pick some of the best of the
Let's
best.
see what you've curated from your
Okay.
incredible listenership.
Beautiful.
Your question
Go,
box
girl.
broke the internet.
Okay.
You heard it here
Oh,
first.
and this was one that I think Mel and I would have wanted to ask anyway, because we have to talk about the colour changing dress that went from all white and black to then the beautiful watercolour. I have this. Hello, it's Matt here from New Brunswick, Canada. How did you make that dress that turns colour when wet? It's so cool.
Oh my
I know you
God.
quasi-explain it, but
Quasi explained it. It's all on my fucking Instagram.
I was gonna say, it
Matt.
goes for
How about-
17 minutes.
Matt, if you want to find out something about me, perhaps you should fucking go to my Instagram and follow
Perhaps
me, you
should
little
do your
cunt.
fucking research map from New Canada.
give us literally the 4-second version of how it works. Go.
I had the fabric custom printed, and then I put hydrochromic ink in 2 layers, and then light boxed black lines to hide the contrasting colors. And then when you put water on hydrochromic ink, it disappears, kind of. Matt,
How does it feel to have changed drag forever?
Which is I was going to say
Serious
as well,
question.
a hard thing to do with so many seasons out now. It's like to have something that groundbreaking, that many seasons in, when you're comparing it with the American seasons that are out, the Canadian season that's
Mad.
out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Canadian one's a good spin-off,
Yeah.
guys. Get onto it. Okay, next question. Someone said, love you, Lazy Susan.
Cringe.
I know, and I went, get a fucking life. We're interviewing her.
back off.
What are some inspirations you draw your fashion sense from?
Fashion sense is so kind. I think to me, it's like, it's always about the bit. So it's like, I think fashion is, that's too strong a word.
Yep.
But I think it is like about the bit, the look, the feel, the vibe. Like,
Yep.
the vibe. That should be a drag name. But no, I think to me, it's like, you shouldn't be worried about looking stupid or ugly.
Yeah.
As long as you like
I
are
love
committed
that
to the
so
bit. And I think that's like the best fashion houses like do that. Like
Yeah.
they like,
Yep.
you know, Schiaparelli has got like constantly pushing by like not being afraid of kind of
Agree.
weird silhouettes that can be like unflattering
Yeah.
or like Moschino or whatever. Like they like Jeremy Scott's also crazy.
Yeah.
Now,
That's a great answer.
this next question is, what was a look that you wanted to do for Drag Race Down Under, but it didn't quite fit the brief for the show? Was there anything that you had that you weren't able to bring with you for the show?
No. Everything was like super like, this is what I'm doing.
How much planning goes into it? How long do you have to
You get
plan?
3.5 weeks.
That's all.
Yeah.
Wow.
But like that's why you have to have a bit of an idea of what like there was stuff that when I got the shortlist call, I pre-ordered in December.
Yeah.
And then when I got the like confirmation call in Jan, I was like ready because I had like ordered my hydrochromic ink and like gotten my hologram fan because there was like stuff that I was like, no matter what the category is, I'm just gonna shove it in there.
Yeah. And so how many people did you have in your team working on all of your
In
looks?
my personal
Would you say?
team.
Your personal team.
So in the kind of Avengers, I had like, I think 5 like sewers,
Yep.
like who are like incredible designers.
Yeah.
And then like every other person in my life just kind of like chipped in to like help, like mum drag queen, mum that drag queen, or
We
mum.
love Mum.
She like did like 10,000 hours of stoning and now has like permanent like respiratory issues
Oh my
because
God.
of the glue. But like all of those people like just jumped in to be like, what can I do? How can I help? And then I had like friends who like, you know, wanted like did me some like dance lessons, like even though I like was like I don't know dance, and like some sewing stuff and like, you know, people that were like all chipping in to try and get me as ready as possible.
Just so quickly, you talking about like dancing really quickly, it kind of reminds me of something that I wanted to like bring up, which was I feel like your answer on like the looks of it all, of being like it's a bit first, it's a concept first. I felt like one of the hottest things watching you on the season was like in the dance challenge, for example, you being like, bitch, I cannot dance, right?
And so I shan't.
But being like, and so I shan't, but I will still reign supreme and be the strongest person on that stage because I will be comfy in not being able to do something.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's something so hot about that like no tea, but like a lot of drag queens I feel like could never.
That's
And I feel like that set you apart in such a major way that I was like, that bitch could do absolutely, give her anything and she'll be the funniest person doing it because you don't have to be good at it. You just have to be interesting.
if I had one message for this generation of like new creatives and queers, it's that if you're not good at something immediately, don't ever do it.
Yeah, I think that's gorgeous.
Give
And
up.
just find other things.
That's it.
That's
Like,
why
find
I'm
the
not a
thing you
Matilda's
are.
Do
player.
that.
Absolutely. Someone just wrote, "You're hot." So that's not a question.
Fuck
it's just
yeah.
a statement. This
That's
one's really
good.
good. If Lazy Susan had to pick 3 dishes that they would share on a Lazy Susan, what would they be?
Great
Oh
question.
God, yes. It would have to be like, you know, just some like steamy prawn dumps.
Ooh,
Yeah,
yum.
and then like some gorgeous like a fresh sorbet. Like, don't you think it's like quite chic when someone hands you? Like, I don't ever buy sorbet in my life, but like if someone
little
gives it to me in a
palate
restaurant,
cleanser.
yeah.
Yep.
And then some kind of like, you know, like weirdly the bean dish is always like incredible. Like just like the little, I don't know, green beans with garlic.
Bean dish.
like
You saying that like it's a good, like you know how the bean dish is always
like you order like a
incredible?
whole buffet of things, but then like weirdly enough, it's just the simple thing.
the crunchy beans.
God, that is the most like. I've been to a restaurant. I've eaten food.
That's very
You know how green beans are always the best though?
I saw a question in there, if I may, because I was really interested about it as well. How was it not having Rue on the show, but getting to see so much more of Michelle? Because I felt like as a watcher, I was like, we are getting so many more different colors from her than we've ever got to see before.
I don't know if you're watching season 17, but like she's like back on her bullshit,
Yes.
She
and
was
she's like
fantastic
being
as
like
host.
cutthroat island,
Literally.
And I'm like, oh. That is not the Michelle that I had.
It's
because like
worlds
she's
apart.
so like she was so nurturing to us because she had to be like she was taking on the Tim Gunn role
Of
and then
course.
like the workroom Michelle, and she's such a like chill energy because like she's got kids, she's been through the bullshit, she's toured with drag queens for like a long time, and so like her vibe on set and the crew's vibe with her because they were like, oh, she's just like easy.
Yeah.
Easy,
So she is
cool.
was just incredible as she
and
seemed.
like flawless.
Yeah.
Flawless at all times. The only thing that was big different is like they have this giant air conditioner that they had to buy specialty for the show that they have to have watched and guarded by a security guard because it doesn't fit in the building. So they have to leave the door open. But it has to be watched overnight because they can't close the building. And
I love this info.
Michelle, I know this is like the like stuff
This
that I
intel
care
is what
about.
we live
This is
for.
what we need.
But Michelle like isn't like Ruth. She doesn't need the room to be 18 degrees at all time. So
Right.
she'll be like, I don't care, turn it off. But like for us, like me and Vibe are sweaty bitches.
Yeah.
And we're like so hot. But the twinks, if you turn on the aircon, are like dying of hypothermia.
That's
Like,
a bit of our dynamic.
Freya and Max are like, because they don't have any body fat to keep them warm.
I shake like a leaf when an AC
I have
is
to
on.
give Sammy's very beautiful. She 9 times out of 10 will be sitting in a blanket so that I can be cool with the AC
Thank
on.
you.
It's
That's
gorgeous.
allyship.
That's true
100%.
allyship to the fatties.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like that AC needs to be fucking pumping.
Yeah. I have one question that's not from our hotline, but I do want to know, what was the most surprising thing when filming that you were like, this is not what I thought it would be like when I got
That's a
onto
good
set,
question.
or being backstage, or where you stay? I don't know. I hear you all stay in
think it's like
hotels. Like, how does it, what was surprising for
the
you?
digital detox, because you don't have internet.
Interesting.
So you don't have internet or Netflix
Oh, you don't
or
have
YouTube
internet,
or
period.
anything.
Right.
You can only watch free to air television. So like imagine that you
How
have
long are you there for?
3.5 weeks if you
God,
go to the end.
it is condensed,
Yeah.
isn't it?
So it's like 2 days, 2 days, 2 days, like episode 2 day, episode 2 days. It's like your podcast.
Not you on your like Better Homes and Gardens grind. Like, let's
Right?
go.
We were like, because none of us had porn. So like we would come out in the morning and be like, did you see Embarrassing Bodies last night?
You're like, fuck yeah.
Like, what's that one, Naked Dating or whatever?
Oh, yes.
Like, when that fucking thing lifted.
Did you, surely you knew you weren't going to have internet.
Well, yes, but I
You
didn't
didn't save
think
anything to
about
the
it.
downloads.
But they're like, you don't have any devices.
No, it's
but
just
one
a
of the
TV.
divas had a USB that would plug into the back of the TV.
That's clever.
And if you put them in MPEG-4 format, then you can get like, she had a
Not the
12 hour-
Windows Media
She
player
was like ready to go. Yeah, so like that's the tea on that.
Oh my God, that's the tea on that. I love this one. Have you ever hit someone with your car, or have you ever set yourself on fire? They're both good questions. I want answers.
That's really rude, and that's definitely someone that knows me. I have two. I've done both of those things.
Tell us the story.
So I was driving back from a costume department sale with Zelda Moon and Mum, and it
Yeah.
was bucketing down, and we were in Collingwood, and we turned the corner, and this woman jaywalked out on onto the road, like ran across.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was not at fault.
Yeah.
Can I just say? But we hit her. Well, I hit her. And
I love this
The casualness with which you
this
go,
is how you know
"I
she's
hit
alive. I hit her with the car, but she went up and bounced onto the windscreen.
Not
and
bounced.
her
Not
head
bounced.
broke the windscreen. Like, this is like a traumatic story. But you're like,
I love that this came through the hotline. A piddly little hotline question box. And you're like, and I did go to prison.
yeah, I'm actually, that's why I'm wearing this. And so I pulled off to the side, and like, you have to imagine there's like one slippery like zoo ballet flat like in the street with like corded headphones, and then the woman is nowhere to be seen, and like behind me Mum is screaming, and next to me Zelda never speaks again. Like, she's just like fugue state. She's like, this is it. And so I get out, and the woman is trying to run away. And like, she had that, you know, in like America's Next Top Model, how that girl collapsed, but she had the braided hair, so it like protected
I'm familiar.
her hair. Yeah, iconic moment. But it was like very similar to that moment where it was like Tyra must have just given her the makeover, because like
great save
her
the
hair-
day.
she had a low pony.
A
Respect.
nape of the neck ponytail saving us once and once only.
High ponies
The
are
power of
killing
the
this
nape.
country. And so she was trying to run away. And we were like, oh my God, come back, come back. And like, she was like, well, like, sit down, we need to get you an ambulance. And then at the same time, all these concerned citizens, women, came over and were like, where's the driver? Where's the driver? And I'm like, I'm here. It's okay.
Yeah.
But like, what's like, you know, what's going on? And she was like, I'm so sorry. Like, the woman keeps apologizing.
Yeah.
We're like, just wait. We need to get the ambulances coming.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, like, Zelda's standing beneath an open drain pipe that's just tipping water on her head, like fugue state, staring out into the middle of nowhere. And then the police come, and then the ambos come, and they're like checking out the lady. And then like, she's this Irish waitress. I almost killed an Irish waitress, which is like,
Oh my
I don't know,
God.
that's how you die. And then, like, I can't go back to the old country. And so then she is fine. Like, the ambulance, like, guys
Yeah.
are like, she's weirdly fine. Completely fine.
There you go.
Oh
And when I
Her
told
head broke the windscreen.
the windscreen, which they meant the design to break, but like zips from Lincraft. But
I am just imagining the ambos going, what we have here is the power of the nape ponytail. Continue on.
Well, go on, girl. Back to what you were doing. Anyway, so then she's fine. The cops are like, okay, well, we've got your details. Like, that's fine. And then suddenly this like life-changing, like, I'm going to prison experience was over. And because when the cops asked for my license, I had to pull out my Ninja Turtles wallet that had Velcro.
Not Velcro.
Yeah, and I was
It had a
like, sorry,
sound.
I'm an adult that almost killed a woman. And pulled
Was
it
there
out.
some Hubba Bubba in
Sorry,
there?
sir, I've just got my library card.
And I was like, sorry, I lost my wallet recently. And they're like, yeah. And I was like, I hadn't lost my wallet recently. Like, this is a choice.
Oh my God.
And then
so now
she
you carry
was
around
fine.
this for hit and runs so that if you pull it out of a Louis Vuitton, they go, keep on walking.
Keep going, faggot. And then that was the whole like thing. And she was like, fine. But we were like, and then when I told my sister this story, like she hears the whole thing and she's like, so is that bitch going to pay for your fucking windscreen?
You're like, I almost killed her, guys.
Yeah, she was just
That's
like, I don't give
so
a shit.
funny.
Her head broke your windscreen.
There you go. Oh my God. Well,
And what's the other
fire
one?
one?
What's the fire?
We're going to
story?
wrap up with the fire.
Okay, so we were I got invited by Warner Brothers Australia, like their music people. They sometimes like do micro influencer campaigns for like $200, and they slung that cash across to a bunch of cross dressers to do like to celebrate the premiere of Ash Nico's new song. And so we were like up in the like studio loft garage where we shoot kick-ons, and I was like, the song is called Daisy by Ash Nico. I looked like a crazy person with like a ribbon wig that I'd made with a headband and some ribbon. And I was like, what if I like pull up a daisy bush and it's on fire? And I'm like, Daisy's on your nightstand. And you like that?
So
I'm like,
creative.
okay. And so my friend, mum, is watching, like drag queen mum. And she's like, okay, let's do it. And she's like filming. And I'm on a green screen. And I pour methylated spirits onto the daisy bush in the second story trapdoor shed. And then I light it on fire. Don't worry, I have a small metal tin nearby.
No, thank God.
Yeah. And then when I light it on fire, the methylated spirit starts dripping down my hand. And like it's on fire, but then the floor's on fire. And then the whole floor's on fire.
Amazing.
And then the fire is surging to the open bottle of methylated spirits, which starts melting onto the ground. And so we're filming, and Ash Nico is still playing, and like we're like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. And then and then we run downstairs and like grab the garden hose, run back up the tiny ladder through the trapdoor into the upstairs, and the hose doesn't reach the fire, which you shouldn't be putting out with water anyway, because chemical fires should be stifled, not spread around with water, because it'll sit on top of the water. And so we're spraying water. The whole room is filling with smoke. This room only has one entrance, a trapdoor in the floor, and we're screaming. The camera is still rolling, and it's like, Daisy, on your nightstand. And like spraying, and then like meanwhile the hose connector is coming off downstairs, and like mum is like holding it together while I'm like trying to tug the hose around. And then I remember that like I had this suit that was like wool. And so I grabbed the woolen 70s suit and like chucked it on the fire.
R.I.P.
And then I was like, amazing. We went downstairs and we were really drunk as well. I don't know if that's a factor, but.
Add it in for colour.
And then we like were sitting there, we're like, and then I was like, wait, sometimes fires don't go out. And then went back upstairs and the fire was on again. We're like, ah!
How big, show of hands, we're on YouTube, fucking watch on YouTube, you losers.
Yeah.
How big was the fire?
It was like, I would say it spread across 2 meters, but it was surface level chemical fire. It hadn't like gotten into anything.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
But because everything in my drag wardrobe, which was currently up there, is synthetic, it was
How
like
much did you
melting.
lose? How
and-
much money worth of stuff did you lose? do you reckon?
like $25 worth of the finest
Linen craft linen
synthetic,
ribbons.
yeah. But it was so diabolical and funny because like mum has now been with me on these like 2 awful times where I've like almost killed us or someone else.
There you
and
go.
it does
That
make it
is
sound like I'm
so
irresponsible,
funny.
but that's only because in that situation I actually really
You
was.
really were.
But I'm also stupid.
Well, we could keep talking for quite simply a million
I wish
years.
this was a 24-hour live stream. I'm having the time of my
Katy
life.
Perry's Witness? The
Legit.
YouTube house? Okay.
Yeah.
We are going to launch, though, into a kick-ons question with Lazy Susan. Ow! Enjoy that sting. We have a question for you, Lazy, that we
Yes.
love to ask anyone we ever meet.
Oh my God.
It tells us so much.
It
about
tells
someone.
us so much about the person that we're chatting to.
Okay.
Now, this question, it's encouraged you go into micro detail.
Okay.
Which you will.
Which you will naturally.
I'm never
We're
good.
talking all the senses, what you look like, what you're doing, who's around you, all of the above. Please describe to us, Ms. Lazy Susan, your ultimate personal hell.
OT. Okay. My ultimate personal hell. Okay. You've gone to see
Yep.
a show. Like, it might be a friend show, but it's a friend of a friend.
Love that it starts
You
with
got
friend
the
show.
You're
ticket.
speaking our language.
You got the ticket for free.
Yep.
Okay. And you come out, and the chairs are uncomfortable.
Yep.
And the bar only takes cash. Okay.
Naturally.
So, like, and you don't have cash because it's 2025. And they're like, sorry. And they're like, do you not have like there's an ATM across the street? And you're like, but I'm here. So you haven't had, like, you don't have a wine.
Yep.
Okay, so you're sitting in this uncomfortable room.
Yep. Strong
You've
start.
run into people that you know but you fucking hate,
Yep.
who give you like irksome vibes. And so you're sitting there and there's no AC in the room as well.
Yep.
That's a problem.
Yep.
So you're starting to sweat. You're on an uncomfortable kind of pew style seating where your
Pew
like
is
ass
perfect.
is like, you know, like right flush with other people.
And hanging off the back.
And hanging off the back, exactly.
Yep.
And you're like, I've got 20 minutes before I'm going numb, and I'm not sure how long this is
Yep.
because it's like a preview as well.
What's the show called that you're seeing, Susan?
I think it's like they've actually gone for something like Untitled and Other Misadventures in My Young Life. Like it's like
I know it so well.
it's like that. And
perfect.
then a straight man
Yep.
who has been encouraged his entire life because he's like attractive
Yep.
and did go to VCA drama school.
Yep.
Comes out and you see like when you arrive there's
Yep.
like a stage that's set up and there's maybe like 12 props
Yep.
and they each like have their own little kind of tableau moment and
On stools.
yeah
A prop on a
Yeah.
stool.
yeah
Yeah.
and so they come out and
Perfect.
then they're like, it started that cold night. Jaleesa, come back, fade to black, cut back. And then each one of you find out at the start of this show that each one of the props has a story attached.
Yep.
Naturally.
And then so you start counting the props and you're like, there's 12 props. And then the first one goes for 15 minutes. You're like, certainly we're not doing all 12.
Yep.
And maybe they're going to overlap. And maybe we're not going to get to them all.
Yep.
But then they do. And you're sitting there and it just keeps going.
Yep.
And he's like telling these like vaguely misogynist story, but that are not outrageous enough that you could be like, this is hilarious. You're just like, this is insulting, but I just can't get past this.
Sure.
And meanwhile, someone is sobbing next to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, question for you. You come, we're going to jump to the end of the show.
Yeah.
You come out, Vox Pop camera in front of your face, 3, 2, 1, action. What are you saying about the show? It's going to be on social media, action.
This was so amazing to see the talent. Like, you know, we don't get this in the art scene. And it's so important and brave to hear, like, obviously, like, deaths among young men and, like, male suicide rate is really important. And so seeing young men express themselves and understand themselves emotionally, being vulnerable is so important.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
And then you go home.
And then I kill myself. No.
And that's everyone's
Not that.
personal.
No,
Because
but
what
then
a
I
loss.
then I find the review and it's glowing, and that person was
That's
crying.
perfect.
Yeah.
And then they get a grant, and then they get like fresh blood funding.
Yeah, and then they're off to Edinburgh
yeah,
Fringe.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah,
like, but
yeah.
it wasn't a comedy. Yeah.
That's a perfect
Yeah.
answer to the question. How does it feel to have nailed the kick-ons question the first go?
That's like lived experience really taught me a
You
lot.
absolutely nailed that. That was insane.
We're going to move on to a segment that's brand new that we like to call Speedy Susan.
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
we got names for our segments.
I love that you have segments. You're like a centipede.
We're so a centipede. This is going to go back and forth. We're just going to go back and forth.
Brave.
It's the first thing that comes to your head.
Okay.
There's a lot of them. We're going to go.
The goal is, because we do have a lot of questions, to speed
Fast.
through them.
That's
and
where
I
the
know that
name
some of
comes
them you
from.
want to flesh them
I'm
out.
not
but
gonna
if-
flesh.
If you can do it quickly,
I'm just
absolutely.
gonna try
the
and-
energy is like we've got an egg timer, but we won't have an egg timer. You know what I
Good.
mean?
We couldn't afford that. We could just turn the
Okay.
flowers.
We'll
Are
go
you
one
ready?
for one,
Yeah.
Mel. Welcome
Okay.
to Speedy Susan.
Hey.
Welcome to Speedy Susan.
Hi.
Ms. Lazy Susan,
Yes.
my hellscape entry look would be.
Nothing.
Okay, a lip sync song you would absolutely crush.
Reba anything.
The 3 other people or characters I could have eaten up on Snatch Game but didn't do are.
Joan Rivers, Hugh Jackman, and Werner Herzog.
It's so good. A lip sync song you would absolutely hate to lip sync to.
Oh my God, anything that requires rhythm.
Gotcha. Yep.
My biggest inspiration in drag is.
Like tiredness.
Something that is not a song that you would slay a lip sync to, like the Medicare hold music.
Yes, I mean, eat that up. The Minty theme song.
Give me a sing of it.
Oh no, I have to like be quite high for that.
Oh, John. Hey, thanks for being honest.
The Australian drag scene needs more.
Coke.
Okay, fuck, marry, kill. Jinx Monsoon, Bianca Del Rio, Queen Kong.
I would marry Queen Kong because she is like really maternal and takes care of people.
Yep.
I would fuck Bianca Del Rio because she's got a giant horse cock. And then I'd kill Jinx Monsoon so I could clear the way. So I could become a witchy lady.
Funny
Good
cat
answer.
queen. Nice.
3 other drag performers we should be keeping an eye on.
Zelda Moon.
Yep.
Oh my God. Victoria Bitter. And who else is fucking amazing? Asia Buffet will be on next season.
I
love it.
Are they all Aussie queens that you've just
Yes.
mentioned?
Yes.
Perfect.
Australia.
We love that. What is your star sign, your sun, moon, and rising, if you know it?
So I'm a Virgo sun.
Yep.
Aquarius rising, Aquarius moon.
Aquarius rising, Aquarius moon. Cool.
Sociopathic.
Nice.
I love that. If I wasn't a drag queen, I would be a...
Filmmaker.
I
course.
love that. 3 words that your friends would use to describe you.
Controlling, loyal, and sweaty.
Nice.
I wouldn't be the person or drag queen I am today without...
Coke.
3 words that your drag family or the drag community would use to describe you.
Creative, sweaty,
the future of drag.
Innovative.
and lazy.
Yeah,
Nice.
perfect. If the 3 of us were to do a drag family resemblance look
yeah.
and you designed it, what would we all be wearing?
Oh my God. I would assume like we'd have to do a human centipede homage. 3 people,
Yes.
3 beautiful mouths.
I love
Ass to
that.
ass.
Ass to ass.
Honoring
Ass
our
to
show, the
mouth.
platonic human
But
centipede.
like we're in like gowns.
Oh, that's a really
Gowns
good
up
question.
around our like hips,
Yeah.
so we can eat each other's asses.
If a gun was put to your head right now and you had to change your drag name right now, what would it be? Go.
Cloaca.
Cloaca.
Yeah.
Very nice.
But yeah.
Complete this sentence. I, Lazy Susan, may not be a brilliant dancer, but I am a better dancer than...
My mother.
We wanted you to do a drag queen, but I love that. Okay. Which actor would play you in a biopic about your life?
Oh, do you know what the most shady thing that was? Someone
No,
you
go.
can go
It's
into
someone
it.
said on
Sorry.
Twitter the funniest, rudest
Please.
thing. They said Lazy Susan out of drag looks like someone trying badly to draw Paul Mescal. And I was like, whoa.
Stop.
So I'd like that.
That's pretty good.
That's really
no,
funny.
credit where credit's due.
That was,
really funny.
you know when
Can
someone
we-
insults you like, fair though.
Yeah,
fucking
you're like,
amazing.
actually...
If
what are you
anyone
gonna
that
do?
is listening to this episode is a sketch artist, please try and draw Paul Mescal badly, and we're going to do a side-by-side on screen. That is a really good one.
It was
Go,
also
Melly.
written in Spanish. Anyway.
I did this, but also I kind of know the answer. I'm pretty sure it's Zelda Moon, but I could be wrong. If I were to be in a drag queen duo, it would be
Zelda
with...
Moon.
Yeah, Zelda Moon. Yeah.
Nice.
Sorry, that was a bad question. by
fuck
me.
off.
No, that's a great question.
That's a terrible question.
A TV show you're binging right now.
I just started Below Deck. And I'm learning
nice.
things about myself I didn't need to know.
Trashy reality.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's all I've got.
I've got one more.
Go.
A song that you have on repeat.
I actually like do Oren and Bashi, like just like ambient like clicking noises. Love that for like studying time.
Nice. Why? So why isn't it our album?
Oh my God.
That's pretty-
I can't afford it.
Okay, it's like we did our research on you. That's pretty fucked up, but that's all right.
I listen to it. Actually, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
They say in podcasting, there's 3 archetypes.
Yep.
There's the dom, there's the sub,
Yep.
and there's the cuck. So we know that Tom and today, oh my God, I've forgotten her
Lucy.
name.
Lucy.
Well, I'm not going to remember that.
Because she's the cuck.
Yeah. So we have the cuck, but who's the dom and who's the sub?
What do you think?
It can change, but I mean today.
I think I have a controversial answer.
Go.
I think regularly
Yeah.
I'm the dom.
Yep.
I think in this episode you're the dom.
Bossy pants.
I would say I agree. I would say Mel is better at anchoring. I'm not good at anchoring. I'm not good at, and we're going to throw to a quick ad. I'm good at quipping. I'm not good at steering the ship, but I'm good at throwing up some balloons and zipping around on deck.
Yeah.
Sam's good at riffing.
I'm good at riffing. But
Yeah.
did you see me before? I'm like, we're going to throw to a quick
You're-
ad, and everyone's like, no, that's the end of the segment.
You're like, we have a guest here. None of this bullshit.
yeah.
I'm fucking reining it in.
You nailed Speedy Susan. Thank you so much for playing.
We went so speedily that we've almost brought back all the time. We
yeah.
wasted by talking shit about a coked up man in a mansion.
Amazing.
It's so good.
Singing is not annoying, and everything is better as a song.
All All right, welcome to the final part of our first ever guest episode. It's the first time, guys, we've got a soprano 1, a soprano 2, and now an alto. We're going to do Hit It Toots, which for any new listeners, we're going to improvise a song on the spot. Lazy Susan doesn't even know the genre. We don't know the genre. No. Lucy's going to play it. We're going to make up a song. You had a great idea for our Hit It Toots. What should it be?
So on this week's challenge, your makeover guest and you must complete a song that goes with your look. You're presenting Human Centipede on the Runway.
Human Centipede on the Runway.
I love it.
And with that, Hit It Toots.
Hit It Toots.
Oh my God.
Hey guys, we're already going to go out onto the runway, and I got a feeling we're really going to slay this look.
Let's do it, girls! Yeehaw!
5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. When I hit the runway with my girlies, gonna get my bog out over my ass. Gonna spread my cheeks and let lazy in. Lick it up, girl.
Hey, Lazy, my head's in your ass. How do you feel about that? I'm having a really good time, but I can't see this runway. That's the sound of my asshole motor. Indeed it is. Hey, Lazy, you were saying backstage that we should have a group name. What was it again? No, please go. And then the judges go, that was a beautiful scatting vocal soloist.
Scatting?
And scat's a bit of wordplay because scat comes out of an arse. Sorry, I'm going to need you vocalizing. I had a moment where I went, we have to keep singing, but I just want to listen to Susie go.
It would sound better on the night because we'd obviously have our the actual ass in the mouth.
I'm in pain.
Thank you so much for doing that bullshit segment with us.
But who would judge that week? Would it be like HBRC's back and she's like, I liked it.
Yeah.
Hyperpop girlies know.
Oh my God.
Fuck me. Lazy Susan, it has been a privilege, a treasure, a treat, and a joy to have you.
We are so lucky. We obviously know that you have a very loyal fan base, but if we get some rat bags over to your pages, where do you live? Where can people find you?
Okay, so you can find me at Ms. Lazy Susan on Instagram.
Yep.
And Ms. Lazy Susan on TikTok.
And you have a Podly Dodge, don't
we
you?
do, yes. I have a podcast. It is not like time constraint like this. It goes 2.5 hours.
I
If
love
it's like,
that though.
It's for like working mothers going on the train to their job in like the third quarter. So yeah, it is. It's called Death to Everyone, and it's a show about the end of the world.
Oh,
yeah.
Perfect.
Fucking awesome. We are so
You also
lucky.
have this shit hot merch that we're currently wearing.
Oh my God,
Like
we
good
do.
little rats.
Like good little soldiers.
Yes.
So if
So
you want to
good.
buy this gorgeous T-shirt, this long sleeve, luxuriating,
It's really sexy.
like smut inspired T-shirt, you can go to my website, which is lazysusan.com, and you can also buy badges and bits. You can't buy the
Gorgeous.
purse though. That's mine.
Oh, we are so lucky.
So
Guys, and
lucky.
with that, our first ever guest episode is done. We're the luckiest rats in the world.
Thank you so much for
thank you
coming
so
on,
much for
BB.
Can I
coming
just
on.
say I'm really sorry for lowering the tone immediately and for like
What?
representing like gay male culture by immediately talking about eating ass. Because I know that that's not what this show is and that's not what your like demographic
No, I
wants to hear.
literally
No.
wish you would.
No.
Analingus though is very important.
It's
You're
really
so
important.
real
And
for
it's
that.
important in the lesbian community too.
Yes, no,
Say
that's
it.
so true. That's
Say
so
it.
true.
It's-
And like I just want to apologize for that really hack joke about gonorrhea. I would
No.
never normally do that.
Everything you say is golden.
We adore you. Thanks for changing drag forever.
You have.
You're remarkable.
We love you.
That's brave and important of you to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll
Love
see you next week, guys. Bye.
Mel and Sam would like to acknowledge that this podcast was created and recorded on stolen land.
The original custodians of this land have had a rich history of storytelling for over 65,000 years, and we pay our respects to the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, whose land we are making Ratbag on.
Treaties were never signed, sovereignty was never ceded, always was and always will be Aboriginal land.